Well, I'm surrounded by a fair bit of road racing talent here. I got Brodie Waters, Josh Waters and Nick Waters, and trust me, there aren't any other brothers in Australian road racing that do what these guys can get on with. Josh, you're the elder brother, so I guess you pull rank over them. You've got the factory ride on the superbike, you got a world superbike ride. I guess your two bros are after your seat.
Yeah, I better pull my finger out and try and do something soon, because I know these two are going to try and cut me grass.
Well, we might ask the younger Waters on the end there, 17 years of age, Nick. I remember being at a super motard round over in Perth a few years ago, and in qualifying, you were quicker than your two bros. I guess there's a little bit of rivalry that goes on between you.
Oh yeah, for sure, there's a fair bit, but it's always out in the backyard, always racing, but it's always got to be happening.
So when you were growing up, you were the youngest one. Did you get beaten up by the big brothers?
Oh, it started for a while and then I sorted it all out.
Well, we might ask Brodie on the other side here. There is a fair bit of competition between you. It's friendly competition. I saw what was happening at Super Motard. I've seen it out on the track. I guess it's been a competitive but a friendly environment that the three of you have grown up in.
Yeah, it's definitely been competitive. Everything we do, it's always a race. Like, even when we go to training, everything's a race. But it's quite good because it keeps us pushing forwards, and we always want to be the best out of the three of us. So,
well, you finally got we call it a factory seat now with Team Suzuki, just like elder brother Josh. Nick's still a privateer, so I guess you're next in line that he's after.
Yeah, and actually Nicholas is riding quite good this year, so I got to watch out and keep pushing on forwards, otherwise he's going to be catching me soon.
Yeah, I reckon the pressure's on this weekend. Josh, another question to you. Obviously, the family, you've grown up in Mildura. Your closest road race track is probably, I guess, Malala in South Australia. How did you end up all racing on the bitumen?
I started riding bikes, racing bikes when I was 4 years old. And we chose the discipline of dirt track. So, did that. And as soon as I was old enough to ride on the road, I started road racing. So now I get to live our dream, and it's pretty cool.
Have you got a trophy room in the Waters establishment at Mildura, and who's got the most trophies at the moment?
Oh, I'm smoking them there. But no, we keep some trophies, but it's mainly the medallions. We're after the gold medallions.
Oh, you hang them around the chest with a little bit of a false hair, do you?
Yeah. I have the gold medallions from training, and then the bikes, so I'm beating both of them.
And what about the training? I might ask Nick this one. You've probably got some property around Mildura that you do your training on. What's it involve?
Oh, Josh started with body mods with Adam Ferry. He's helping us out a fair bit, and we go there 3 times a week. Josh goes 4 because he doesn't come to work at all. But and then we're just out the back. We got a bit of land. We just make up any track we want, and then just ride that for a while, and then get over it and make a new one.
All right, well, I've got to ask one final question to Brodie, and second round of the championship, Symmons Plains. You said it's close racing between all of you. I was doing the commentary there, and I remember looking down and I saw 2 Waters brothers lying in the gravel pit together. What was that all about?
Oh, well, I made a mistake and took Nicholas out, but it cost me quite a bit of money, so I definitely won't be doing that again.
How long before you started talking to each other again?
Sunday night, because Monday I had to drive him home on the boat, so...
All right, might be a good time for me to sign off then, just so they can sort out any perhaps differences or maybe race tactics for what lies ahead.
Wayne, Darwin has not been kind to you this weekend. What can you do to recover in this final race?
Yeah, look, we just got to try to get a little bit better start and try to push on. We're in a bit of a bad spot here, and circumstances have caused that, but just be a little bit smarter at the end of the race and maybe settle for a podium and then rather try to push for the win.
So fast in that last race, running third. What happened?
Just made a mistake going down into turn 1. I was struggling there all race and just trying to make time that I was losing on the straight to Josh. So unfortunately, I'm on the spare bike and it is a little bit of a struggle, but that's racing, and we'll try our best in this one.
For a spare bike, it's not doing too badly.
Yeah, the guys at Team Honda Racing have done a great job, but I'd like to have my number 1 bike to make my life a little bit easier at the moment.
Josh, you dominated in that last race. Can you do it again in this one?
I'll try my hardest. Definitely didn't turn the air conditioner on for us. They didn't. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be hard, but I'll try my hardest.
How do you back up after a hot race for this second one?
I've just been trying to be cool and drinking lots of water and trying to be rehydrated. So see what happens.
Good luck. Back to you, Ken and Kev.
Well, we heard what Josh Waters does to try to cool down between races. Not easy. 2 17-lappers here for our Superbike guys. Josh Waters will start from pole position for the second of the 17-lap races. And Kevin McGee, hot work again for our Superbike guys.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty sticky. Got to dry leathers out in between races, things like that. Put them over a fan. And, yeah, as Josh Waters said, just remain cool.
Well, easier said than done. In the starters' hands now for our second of 2 Viking Group Australian Superbike Championship races here at Hidden Valley. Waiting for the light to go off and away they go. 300 kilometres an hour down the front chute. They won't get that on the standing start, but Waters with a great start out wide, but Attard tries to go up the side, but it's going to be Waters, our race 1 leader, who leads them this second stanza.
Taken on from where he left off. Managed to hold out Attard into turn 1 and establish the lead. Attard's on his case. Glenn Allerton on the BMW in third place, you can see there, and Herfoss a lot better on the start this time. He's into 4th.
Wayne Maxwell way back there, third last on the hastily cobbled together spare Honda. They've actually had to wrap parts off the 2-seater bike they used for the pillion ride. So that had to be retired from action here at Hidden Valley so they could get Wayne Maxwell back on track. The Aprilia still there in second position. Very distinctive sounding motorcycle. Got a V4 configuration engine. All the others are inline 4s. And certainly sounds different. Sounds like a MotoGP bike as it goes past. And the way Ben Attard's making it perform, it's looking like a MotoGP bike.
Yeah, they're good little rockets. They've got plenty of speed, as we see with Biaggi in the World Superbike. But Waters still got him covered on the Phil Tate and Suzuki down the straight. Allerton on the very fast BMW, having another look down the inside. Yeah, he's made it into second place on the start of the second lap. So Allerton trying to forge his way forward. Certainly not let Josh Waters get away on the Suzuki early on in the race.
Yeah, good passing move there from Glenn Allerton. Deep under brakes, the old traditional block pass. Doesn't need a block pass here. It's like he's got the rocket booster on that BMW up the inside of Josh Waters into turn 6 round Carlton Dry corner. In fact, let's take the Carlton Dry replay of that move so we can see the BMW. Neat keeps it tight and hard on the gas again as he heads up towards turn 6. Jamie Stouffer looks like he's out. Second lap in and already problems for the Team Honda racing rider. Good news there. Plenty of good news, though, for Glenn Allerton on the BMW as he stretches the legs of that machine. He caught up earlier in the weekend with the Procon Maxima Oils BMW data technician. Gave us an insight into what makes this bike as quick as it is. And believe me, it's quick. Well, Shane, data technician, that's your official title with the team. I guess it carries a fair bit of responsibility, but looking over this BMW, there's a fair bit of data that needs looking after.
Yes, the BMW's just taken technology, modern day sport bike technology to the next level. The sensors are unbelievable.
Well, as a standard bike, it's got traction control, different power modes, but as a race team data technician and developing into a superbike, you obviously take it to another level again.
Yes, we're sort of, BMW has, as a standard road bike, has a very good traction control system, but they have an uprated HP kit, which is the factory upgraded software, and it enables us to take full control of the electronics rather than just Glenn having a mode button to change the electronics. We can actually adjust each mode individually to suit his liking.
And of course the pit garage full of computers and technology to help you do that. You mentioned sensors before on the bike. What sort of things do you monitor when the bike's out there?
We monitor, the bike's getting more and more like an aircraft than it is a bike. The bike has a pitch, yaw, roll rate sensor, so it actually knows its lean angle. It knows pretty much where it is on the track. If Glenn doesn't like it, we could probably get a monkey to ride it one day.
Well, I'm in with a chance there, aren't I? So when the bike comes back after a session, you're able to download information not only on all that, but on tyre temperatures, suspension movement, how the brakes are working. Basically monitor the whole bike and then dial in improvements for the next session. Yeah,
we can monitor every parameter of the motorcycle, and then if Glenn's having an issue in one particular corner, we can just tune it to suit that corner. Basically anything that Glenn wants, we can provide him with.
Well, one thing that my spies tell me that you've gone a step above some of the other teams. You've actually got some GPS tracking. You can follow where the bike is on the track at any time. Information can be sent to Glenn via this very detailed dash unit here. I'm just beginning to wonder, do you actually need a rider? What about a little scale electric throttle grip?
Yes, no, we still need Glenn to turn the throttle. It's none of us are going to do it. We're not that mad, but certainly the bike tells Glenn as he's going around whether he's doing a good job or not, and he uses that information, knows that he can improve or knows where he can work on things for the next session.
So you can actually do a real live download. When Glenn comes in at the end of the session, you can call up his lap via the GPS, shows his lap around the circuit and overlay it with, what do you use, a Google map or something like that?
Yeah, basically we can, we have a track map that we can see where Glenn's run wide on a corner. We can check his lines to within, half a metre. So if he's made a mistake, we know about it. He can't hide anything from us.
So he's being spied on by some satellite up there in the sky.
Pretty much.
Are you spying on the other teams as well?
We worry about ourselves, Ken.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
No need for the boys to spy on anybody else at all. Glenn Allerton out the front, setting the pace. Josh Waters just behind him, but Allerton enough of a breather for Josh Waters not to be able to come by out of the draft and down the inside. Lap 6, so third race distance. Allerton got it under control.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing it pretty easily there. Bike moving around under brakes. We've seen that every lap though, but Glenn Allerton on board here with Wayne Maxwell. Looks like problems there for the second of our two Team Honda racing riders. In fact, back into pit lane, so only completing 5 laps, and that's 2 no-score races here for Wayne Maxwell this weekend, and Jamie Stouffer also out of this one. Must have walked under a ladder or had a black cat cross their path, Kevin McGee, but not a good weekend for Team Honda.
No, no good at all. That's really hurt your championship points tally, and they've got to chase it all for the rest of the year now. Allerton chasing nobody out front still, and really charging along in the championship overall.
Of course, let's not forget Glenn Allerton, one of the more experienced of the superbike riders in the field. It's sometimes easy to forget that he's raced for Team Honda, the official factory team in the past, but he's also raced for Team Suzuki. So he's got a lot of superbike experience. As we heard, commenced his racing on a 250 Proddy, so plenty of experience inside that QBE helmet that he's wearing. Of course, Viking Group sponsoring the Superbike Championship, QBE looking after the Super Sport Championship. Maybe Glenn Allerton thinks he's going to do double duty. But on the BMW at the moment, he's only got one thing in mind, that's keeping Josh Waters behind him. Let's have a look further back in the pack there. We've got Chris McLaren holding off Ben Henry. 2 of our front-running privateers putting on a great battle there. Same as up the front though. Glenn Allerton, if anything, Kevin McGee, Josh Waters beginning to close in on the BMW.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think he's certainly far from giving up, Josh Waters. He wants another win under his belt, so it's going to go down to the wire between those two, it looks like.
This is a great scrap between our privateers. That's Chris McLaren on bike 45, Ben Henry on 18. Tucked in behind them, the 3-time New Zealand champ, Robbie Bugden on the Mack Truck Suzuki, and tailing off just behind him, Cole Odendale. So we've got a couple of scraps going on here. This one at the front of the pack between Allerton, Waters and Attard. The Aprilia sticking with them. It's just been getting stronger and stronger. Lap 8, that's just under half race distance, and Waters beginning to put the pressure on.
Yeah, Waters not giving up at all. Hard, deep in under brakes here, a little bit too deep. Runs it a little bit wide in one, loses a few precious tenths, just drops back a little now. He's got to work over all that again. He had it and then he just let it go with one simple mistake in that very hard braking area. But he'll get there by the look of it. And Attard not out of it yet either. So Allerton's still got it, but the boys behind him are coming down.
Into the second half of the race now. I guess race fitness beginning to play a part. Not so much just tyre wear, but can the riders keep their concentration? Must be so hard in these demanding conditions. They've trained for it. Of course, they've come out of Tasmania, Symmons Plains, cooler down there to the top end where it's a fair bit warmer, a lot more humidity. These are top athletes. Their training regime absolutely at the top professional level. Troy Herfoss, not on our screen at the moment, but he employs a personal trainer, as do the Waters brothers. Josh Waters there. Glenn Allerton regularly trains hard. It's not just jump on the bike and ride it. Lap 9, so we are into the second half of the race now, and still the top 3 maintaining station. It's the BMW, the inline 4-cylinder, the Suzuki, another inline 4-cylinder, and then the V4 Aprilia. Much smaller in its frontal area than the other two. Ben Attard, the smaller of the 3 riders, so well suited to that particular motorcycle.
Yeah, and you can see Waters slowly making the ground back. Didn't make much that next lap, but getting back there. So He's just got to keep at it, not make any silly little mistakes, try too hard, lose time is usually what happens. He's got to stay relaxed and keep it all smooth and everything under control. And as you say, Addard's not out of it yet either, having a second bite at the entry to that right-hander around the back of the circuit.
Good view there of the S's coming out of turn 7. Very challenging for the team technicians here. It looks like problems there for Robbie Bugden on the Mack Trucks Suzuki, so the 3 times New Zealand champ. Tell you what, the conditions here in Darwin, not only hard on riders, hard on machinery as well. So not a good weekend for Robbie Bugden, not a good weekend for Team Honda as he pulls the bike over onto the grass and out of harm's way. But great to see the bikes up here at the Hidden Valley Circuit. Of course, Northern Territory Government and Darwin City Council helping to bring Australia's premier motorcycle category to the top end.
As always, Darwin turns on a spectacular event here for the Superbikes.
Oh, it's magnificent, and thank goodness it stopped raining. I was a bit worried yesterday and Friday, but the sun's out, the crowds are out, and the racing's been fantastic.
Tell us how the local community, the government, and also, I guess, the spectators really get behind this event.
Well, a few years ago, I thought we have a great V8 round here every year that's absolutely huge, massive crowds. And I said to our people, let's try and get the Superbikes up here. We've got a fantastic facility. We've got a 5-year contract. This is year 2, and the government's right behind it and the community's right behind it. The crowds are a little bit down this year, but I think it's just been so wet. People have got a few jobs to do at home. So I'm saying to everybody out there, this time next year, bring your friends, bring your families, put out there on Facebook and Twitter what a great round this is, and let's get a few more people here.
Well, you've been here, you've watched some of the action so far today. Sum it up for the people that haven't seen Superbike racing before. It's pretty full on.
Oh, it's full on. It's really, really exciting stuff, and just certainly seeing the bikes clipping it at over 300 Ks is awesome, you know. So it's a fantastic facility, lots of friendly people, and what a great way to spend a weekend.
And a great event, and thank you for putting it on. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, same to you guys. Well done.
Well, we were mentioning the fitness of the riders. Glenn Allerton, the man on screen at the moment, up to Darwin a week early so he could acclimatise to the hotter temperatures and the humidity up here. Certainly doing him no harm as he leads this second race. Fastest lap of the race so far also to Glenn Allerton, a 1:07.843 set on lap 2. And I guess Kevin McGee, that's when the tyres were fresh and he was fresh and he was trying to make that break.
Yeah, everything's at its best, and as you say, there's extra time in the new tyres at the start of the race. Even though you've got a heavy fuel load, you can still go quick on the new tyres.
So both the Team Honda bikes of Jamie Stouffer and Wayne Maxwell out of the race here. Also Robbie Bugden on the Team Mack Trucks Suzuki. So 3 of our factory supported riders back in pit lane. Not good news for them, but good news for Glenn Allerton, the points leader, as he continues to hold Josh Waters at bay on the Suzuki. Must be getting time now for Waters to mount a challenge if he's going to on this BMW. The laps are counting down. He needs to start putting some real pressure on Glenn Allerton.
Allerton just skating around into the right-hander there, you can see, so he's still trying for everything he's worth, and Waters again right on him, and he'll be making a plan for a bit later in the race to see whether he can pass him out of the draft before the finish line. I doubt that he'll be able to do that, so he's going to have to make his move before that last lap.
Yeah, both the bikes skating around there as they come down through this challenging sequence of corners that leads onto the front straight, down through the S's. This last corner very tight. In fact, on a superbike, down to second gear, only 88 kilometres an hour at the apex of that corner. And then they've got to accelerate up through that 6-speed gearbox, up through third, fourth, fifth, sixth. They get up to just on 300 kilometres an hour. And then they've got to go down 4 gears to second gear to 90 kilometres an hour through turn 1. So the amount of force there on the arms, on the shoulders as they go hard under brakes, and then up through this part of the track, they get up to about 220 kilometres an hour in 4th gear through there. Then it's down to 210 through the last part of those S's. Then they've got to get down to second gear, 97 kilometres an hour through there on the Suzuki telemetry, and then up to the slowest corner on the track. Second gear, 63 kilometres an hour. It must feel like you could get off and walk. That's actually slower than the slowest corner at Phillip Island, which is turn 4. So a very slow corner, but a very fast front straight. Through this part of the track, they get up to 195 kilometres an hour in 3rd gear, and then they have to go down through these S's towards the front straight, where they go back down to 2nd gear, 125 kilometres an hour through there, and then down to this final corner, 88 kilometres. Kevin McGee, that's a huge amount of variety in 2.9 kilometres.
Yeah, a lot of gear changes as well, and you can see the circuit a little bit undulating, but sort of up and down and different cambers, so got to take all that into account. I just noticed then Josh Waters into the last turn on that last lap before they headed down the straight, starting to stick that left braking foot out again, so we know he's up for the challenge. He's out after Allerton, and it's so tantalisingly close. It's going to be interesting to see where he tries to attack, because for him, the drafting down the straight probably is out of the question, so he's going to have to go somewhere else. Look at Allerton, he's got his head down.
Yeah, he really wants this one. I guess he'd had he'd had a number of wins in succession. That sequence was broken in the opening race by Josh Waters, who set that amazing lap record. Let's just recap on that. At a lap time of a 107.269, 1.7 seconds quicker than the V8 supercars around this circuit at Hidden Valley. The bike's getting about 25 kilometres an hour higher in top speed down the front chute. Of course, the V8's better under brakes and around the faster corners. But onto the straight again, you can see Glenn Allerton pushing down on that gear lever, running race shift pattern on these bikes. And if anything, he's beginning to open the gap now on Josh Waters. I just wonder what the tyres are like on that Suzuki. I wonder what they're like on the BMW. But lap 15 of this 17-lap journey, and Glenn Allerton looking relatively comfortable there in front, making too many mistakes, and the bike looking to be in still pretty good shape.
Yeah, he's working it pretty hard. There's not much left. You can see it's just shaking and wobbling a little bit everywhere. Backs it into the right-hander again, so he's got all the stops pulled out. Ben Adhart there, and he's in a safe third, but it's a distant third from the leading pair, so he's not going to be able to do anything probably other than just make it to the third step of the podium. But the fight's still on between these two. Waters gets closer to Allerton around the back of the circuit and then loses a little bit, if not late in the lap, certainly down the straight. This is where Allerton looks really strong.
Yeah, good battle just behind this couple as well, with Troy Herfoss on the Team Suzuki GSXR and Craig Coxell on the Demolition Plus Honda, battling over 4th and 5th. So looks like their scrap's going to go right down to the wire as well, swapping places lap after lap. But it's Allerton who's going to lead them past the start-finish line on lap 16. 17-lap journey, so less than 2 laps to run now. And Waters doesn't seem to have anything up his sleeve. Looks like this new BMW, this S1000RR, it won the World Superstock Championship last year. It's pretty good as a production bike straight out of the crate, with a few little tweaks here in superbike form. And Glenn Allerton at the bars, it is proving the bike to beat in the 2011 Viking Group Australian Superbike Championship. Of course, Kevin McGee, these guys have got 8 rounds in their championship. Supersport have only got 5, and the reason the Superbikes have got 8, they're doing 3 rounds with the V8 supercars.
Yeah, which is great for the Australian Superbike Championship and all the riders and fans out there, more exposure and bigger crowds. So it's a good thing to get started again. It used to happen a few years back and then it went away for a couple of years, but I think running the bikes and the V8s together, it's a massive bonus for the fans.
Oh, huge. And coming up now for the last lap board, Glenn Allerton looks like he's going to take victory here if he can just keep it together for one more lap. But Glenn Allerton on his way now, 2.9 Ks to go. Of course, it was Hidden Valley back in 1998 that had the V8s and the Superbikes running together when this track was christened at national level. So quite fitting that the bike should be back here in 2011 running on this great facility. Glenn Allerton now on his way to victory. Looks like Josh Waters has settled for second place. Looks like he's given up the chase.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything drastic, and I think the pace Allerton's setting, you know, in the last laps of this race is that good that Josh Waters really can't do anything about his pace. So he has no other choice than to settle for second. He's still trying. He hasn't sort of given up in that respect, but he's probably just taken a little bit off it, you know, only a couple of tenths a second over the lap just to make sure that he stays on both wheels.
Yeah, well, it's going to give them a win and a second apiece, and of course Josh Waters, by grabbing Super Pole on Saturday afternoon, gets the extra championship point, so he would know that where he sits at the moment will give him the round win. But Glenn Allerton is going to take the race win as he flashes across the line. He extends his championship lead. Team up there celebrating. Josh Waters will go across for a very fine second, and third place will go to Ben Adhart on the Aprilia. So Allerton takes the win on the Procon Maxima Oils BMW from Waters. Then it's Adhart. Troy Herfoss gets the better of Craig Coxell for 4th. Ray Coxall on the Gas Honda Racing consolidates there in 5th. Good result for him. His teammate Cole Odendale comes home in 6th. Then it's privateer Chris McLaren. Ben Henry rounds out your top 8.
Phillip Island second was a bit of a gamble with tyre and it paid off, but we earn it this weekend, and hopefully we'll be up here again at Wanneroo.
You had the pace too because you weren't letting Josh or Glenn get too far ahead of you.
No, I thought I was reeling them in for a bit, but had a few moments out there and settled down a bit, and like I say, third good and points in the bag, so we'll move on.
From the warm-up lap, I knew I had a problem, so ended up going almost a second slower in that race, so I feel sorry for the boys at Team Suzuki. That White was fantastic, just we had one little problem, but still won the round, so got the lap record, qualified on pole. It's been a really good weekend.
Glenn, you and the team clearly elated with that win. What does it mean to you guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. I really wanted to win that race, so I pushed really hard for it, and the 25 points are going to go awesome in the tally to go to the championship. Can't wait to get to Perth. Bike's just getting better and better, so thanks to the team, Procon, Maxima BMW, and my new personal sponsor QBE. Just been great. Thanks a lot.
Courtesy of his Super Pole point, Josh Waters takes the round win on 46 points from Allerton on 45, Attard on 35.
The natural lifestyle Aprilia is working awesome. We didn't have a real flash tyre in that first race, but we picked it up in the last race and got on the podium. So we're there for the championship, and it's a long series. So we're getting closer to the front, and hopefully we'll win one soon.
The bike got better and better. Like the boys changed the bike in between races, and Josh streaked away from me in the first race. That I just decided that the only way I was going to win was by getting in front and then make myself as wide as possible. And I just basically got in front, got into a rhythm, and just pushed on and managed to take the win.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. So to qualify on pole, Super Pole was awesome. Get the lap record in the first race, and I just got beaten in the second one, but you can't have them all. So huge thank you to Team Suzuki, and look forward to the next race meeting I do.
Well, Josh Waters making inroads after missing the opening round, but Glenn Allerton extends his championship lead by 37 points over Troy Herfoss. Ben Attard consolidates in 3rd position. Kevin McGee, 5 rounds to go. It's far from over.
Yeah, over to WA in Western Australia. The Barbagallo race circuit should be a cracker.
Well, that wraps up a fantastic weekend of racing here from Darwin for round 3 of the Viking Group Australian Superbike Championships. The next time these guys are on track, it's at Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia. Well, thanks to the whole crew. We'll see you next time right here on Speed. Go!
QBE presents the Viking Group Australian Superbike Championship, proudly brought to you by Motul and International Entertainment Group.